All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a really powerful intermediate-level Claude feature that is basically designed to eliminate all that tedious administrative work we all hate. We're talking about the Slack MCP connector.
So let me set the scene for you real quick. Picture this. You just got back from, say, 2 days off. You crack open your laptop, fire up your workspace, and what exactly is waiting for you?
Yup, hundreds of unread messages scattered across a dozen different channels. And you just know that somewhere in that massive, overwhelming pile are key decisions, open blockers, and random commitments people made while you were gone. We all know this visceral, universal pain point, right? Finding those crucial nuggets of information usually means an hour of manual scrolling before you can actually start doing any real work. But consider the impact of this feature. To put things into perspective, engineering leads who use Claude to draft their weekly status reports have taken a task that used to eat up 45 minutes of manual channel scanning, and they've slashed it down to under 2 minutes. Literally 2 minutes. And the best part? The output isn't just a guess. It actually reflects what was specifically said, not just what someone kind of half remembered.
So how is that kind of time saving even possible? Well, under the hood, this is all powered by something called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. It's an open standard for securely connecting Claude to external services. Anthropic natively maintains this Slack integration, which means there's absolutely nothing custom for you to build. You authenticate once, and Claude securely inherits your exact Slack permissions. So whatever channels you can see, Claude can see. And those private channels you haven't joined, don't worry, they stay perfectly private.
So instead of you manually digging through channels like a detective, the connector acts as a secure bridge. Slack stays in Slack, but the context comes directly to your chat window in claude.ai. No more endless copy-pasting back and forth. Claude securely reads your channels, searches through the threads, locates shared files, and just pulls all that vital context straight into your prompt window.
Now, I want to clear up a super common point of confusion right away. The Slack MCP connector brings your Slack data into claude.ai. That is the exact opposite of the Claude-in-Slack app, which puts Claude inside Slack's interface. They are two completely separate tools working in opposite directions. You can totally run them together if you want, but just know they require entirely separate setups.
Okay, let's look at a perfect real-world example. Imagine that engineering lead we mentioned earlier, who needs to write a formatted weekly status report every single Monday. Instead of manually scanning a week of messages, they just open claude.ai with the Slack connector active and type this plain English prompt. Read #engineering for the past 7 days and draft a weekly status report. Format it with 3 sections: shipped, blockers, and upcoming. Cite the source messages briefly. And here is where the magic happens. In about 20 seconds, Claude retrieves the channel history, identifies the right signals, and generates a perfectly cited table. Boom! You immediately see exactly what's shipped, like the OAuth redesign, what's blocked, like the third-party API limits, and what's upcoming, like the mobile sprint. Plus, every single detail has its source message and date firmly attached. The lead just previews it, makes any necessary tweaks, and drops it right into their reporting tool. So when should you actually deploy this feature? Obviously, it's perfect for catching up without scrolling, finding a specific decision that got buried in message history, or doing rapid meeting prep. But here is the ultimate power user move. Combine it with another connector. Connect both Slack and Google Drive. In a single prompt, Claude can pull the casual discussion context from your Slack channels and merge it with the formal documents from your Drive, synthesizing the whole shebang into one cohesive output. It's a real game changer. Of course, it's just as important to know the limitations. You should probably skip the connector for quick, one-off snippets where a simple copy-paste is just faster than switching contexts. Also, keep in mind that Claude only reads what you personally have access to. So if your goal is org-wide message analytics or administrative compliance exports, this really isn't the right tool for the job. That kind of heavy lifting belongs in dedicated Slack analytics platforms. So the fundamental takeaway here is this. The Slack MCP connector turns your workspace into an active reading source, rather than a manual digging site. You just stay in claude.ai, ask in plain English, and Claude handles all the retrieval heavy lifting for you. The result lands seamlessly right in your conversation. Okay, let's talk setup. It takes maybe 5 minutes, but, and this is absolutely critical, the order of operations matters. First, you must install the Claude app from the Slack app marketplace. Only after that can you connect it in claude.ai under Settings, then Connectors, then Slack. If you skip that first marketplace step, the connection will flat out fail.
Oh, and a quick note for team and enterprise users, your workspace owner will need to flip the org level toggle before you can connect individually.
Think about those 45 minutes of manual scrolling you're going to get back every single week. What could your team actually accomplish if you never had to blindly dig for context again? To master this feature, see more worked examples, and make sure you avoid common pitfalls, read the full chapter over at claudemaster.net. Thanks so much for watching this explainer.